Hey, what's up? It's TTM. I'm here with my buddy Finn, and he's a farmer here on Kauai, and he's putting together these incredible alchemical, what do you call them?
High vibrational earth medicine.
Cool. Yeah, like that. And so I wanted him to give me a tour. I've used several of these already. There's a couple things that I'm going to learn about today myself, like the frankincense. And I don't think I've seen this one either, but I have used the Shilajit and the salve and the DHA. So let's start over here. Which one's this one here?
That's the Shilajit.
Okay. Tell us about the Shilajit. I know a little bit about it, but what do you know?
Shilajit is a Jing builder, so it helps to build the Jing within the body, which is the primordial life force. And when we come into the earth, we have our Jing that brings our spirit into our body. And you get a certain amount of Jing, and there's only like a few herbs that build Jing. And not many of them are a Jing tonic, so being a tonic that you can use it all the time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't set
Unlimited.
anything else off balance.
Right.
And so for me, Shilajit creates like a deep, warming, grounded energy that's not like very like fast, but it's long lasting and sustaining. And then when I do drink caffeine, it also makes it to be like more calming, the caffeine, because it helps to build the adrenals and sustain that within your system. And so with that, it detoxifies, it builds the organs, kidneys, and then it also has every mineral on the planet in it in ionic form.
What is Shilajit?
So before the Himalayan mountains were there, it was like grassy and like tons of trees and like lots of like plants. And then the continental plates collided, and all of that went under the mountains and then composted for like millions of years. So it's pretty much just earth compost.
Wow.
So it's got your humic acids and like everything in there, all the nutrients that you need that's condensed. And the way they found it was there was a village living in the mountains, and they saw the monkeys going up the mountain and like moving the rocks and pulling this stuff out and eating it and getting like super powered. And so they went to see what it was, and then that's Shilajit.
Wow. Yeah, Shilajit will definitely strengthen the human body and definitely help to tonify and regenerate the gut. And I think it's very conductive as well with all the minerals in it.
Definitely.
And so anything else you want to say about Shilajit?
I use it every day. When I wake up, I make a tea with Shilajit, and that like gets me going. I use I make a tea blend with Gynostema and goji berries, Siberian ginseng. And then I have that with the Shilajit. Just take a little bit, put it in the tea, stir it up, and then drink that. And that keeps me sustained through the day, especially when I'm not eating a lot. It helps to like move through the day and like keep me feeling very nourished and grounded.
Awesome. Where do you get your Shilajit from?
It comes from a friend of mine that lives in Nepal, and so they source it from the Himalayan mountains.
Cool.
And it's pure black Shilajit, so it's just the top. They'll get the raw resin down, and then they'll cook it, and then it'll come to the top. So all the like other impurities go down, and then you just get the Shilajit off.
I like to just put it in water.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drink it plain. I like it. It tastes like kind of like coffee to me, cold coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had some awesome tea. So
Yeah.
what was in that one that you gave me?
That was the one that's Gynostema with Siberian ginseng, goji berries.
Yeah, that was just so delicious.
Yeah.
Man, right
That's
on.
my go-to every day.
The next one, what's this?
That's an earth mend. So Synchromystic is like kind of the start of all this, and that's my work with sound and minerals, which brought me to this space, which brought me to Kauai. And from that, Synchromystic being like the point, and then Fractal Forest and Anahata Alchemy being like the children of that. And so Anahata Alchemy is my partner's company, and she does oils, tea blends, different kinds of salves. She's been studying herbalism for about 4 years, so she's really big into Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine. So this is a product that she makes, Earth Men, with comfrey that we grow on the land, and that's really good for like cuts and bruises and like bug bites and things like that.
What's the base?
The base of that is beeswax, Kauai beeswax, and then there's also propolis in there. So we get our beeswax and propolis from Robin over at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's where we get all our stuff from, and then
Dude,
there's
I love it.
MCT oil. There's some jojoba oil in there also.
Yeah, so that's really cool, because that just segues into what I'm doing, is just supporting through my network, just all the local farmers. So to know that you're supporting Robin with your work, it's just all tied in really nicely, and we're sending out such a good vibe over here, and all these medicines out into the world, you know, from this very, very powerful place. And I believe that, you know, the energy of this island is transmitted through these products that are shipped to the mainland and all these places where they don't have the same mana, the same prana in the land. We're so blessed to be here, and so to be able to get our hands on this kind of stuff and then utilize these medicines for different purposes. Of what does she like to use the comfrey for? What does she recommend it for?
The comfrey is just like when you have like aches and pains, or you're like trying to like heal like scrapes and bruises, or like just like comfrey is like very good for it's super nutrient dense. And so for like if you have like inflammation or things like that, the comfrey will help to like compress that and like heal that. It's
Cool.
good for like setting bones. Like if you like broke a bone and you like wrapped it in a comfrey leaf, the comfrey is like good for that. But as long as it's like set and in place first, so good for like healing structural things.
Okay, cool. Well, let's keep moving, brother. This, I know about this one very well. I use this for massages and stuff, actually, the frankincense salve. Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah, I love frankincense. So this here on the table is frankincense resin. This particular resin is called green Hujari. So it's green royal Hujari frankincense from Oman.
Oh my God, dude.
So I have like this fascination with frankincense and the whole ancient stories in the Bible, how all the frankincense came from Arabia. So that's the only place where frankincense is Arabia. And when you like in the Bible, it talks about King Solomon and Queen Sheba bringing all the gifts to Queen Solomon. She was down towards Oman, and that's where all the frankincense trade came from. So you've got like Arabia here, and then the Red Sea, which splits Egypt, and so they were supplying Egypt and Jerusalem and the whole world with all of the frankincense. And so she was like in charge of everything, the spices and the frankincense. And so it's very mystical to me. I mean, talking about with Jesus, where they brought him frankincense and myrrh and gold. And then when you really dive into that, like other texts say that the gold would have been golden oil, which is called oil of spikenard, which I use in some of my medicines, or jatamanzi. So I just like the frankincense and its healing aspects. For me, it's vibrational medicine that helps to clear the whole ethereal system and body. They use it over there for health. They chew on it, and just like for all around.
What is frankincense?
Frankincense is a resin. This particular frankincense comes from the Boswellia sacred tree. So it's the resin from a tree.
Oh wow, okay, and then it just hardens up like that naturally?
It saps out like like how pine trees will like put out sap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And what do you do? Can you burn this stuff?
you can burn it. What I like to do with the frankincense is I like to turn it into medicine. So I do burn it, but I feel like the medicinal aspects of it are huge. So what I'll do is I'll grind the frankincense up into a powder, and then I'll mix it into an oil. I make all of my blends either on a new moon or a full moon, so I do it with in harmony with the lunar events. And so then I'll mix that into an oil, and I'll usually let the oils infuse for a full lunar cycle into the oil. So the resins go into the oil, they infuse, and with that you get all of the medicine of the frankincense. Like if you get a frankincense essential oil, when you distill it, it only gets the high notes. So you're not getting like the deep earthy notes of the frankincense, and that's where the boswellic acids are, and the boswellic acids are known for healing cancer and like all kinds of other things. So I make the medicine so it has all of that.
Do you have that for sale as well?
Yeah, I sell frankincense
your
resin.
website?
I use it in a lot of my medicines, especially the Sacred Space salve, which is a combination of 4 different types of frankincense.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's many different kinds.
The one you gave me.
Right,
That I
that
use. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 4 different types of frankincense with blue lotus oil. This is blue lotus. And then I use that for just like setting space for meditation. I put that on and just to hold that resonance within my body.
Awesome. Yeah, that is some really good stuff. I love the way you package it with the little sprinkles on top.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, okay, this guy's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, we package the majority of our medicine, with exception of just this Earthmen. we use all Myron glass, and Myron glass is the best glass that you can get. It only lets in one frequency of UV light, so medicines stay much longer.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously you can see that there's a lot of consciousness going into this. And really at the end of the day, of course, that's why, I'm here with you now, because of who you are, not necessarily what you do, but who you are, and who you are transmits into what you do. And that transmits into the person who is at the end, utilizing these medicines and stuff. And so you can see that a lot of thought has gone into this. And so what would you would just use this mostly for the meditation, or
Yeah.
is there other types of healing uses
Well,
that
frankincense
it has?
is also very antimicrobial, antibacterial. So if there's any kind of fungus stuff going on, you use it for that. Like people that have eczema or skin irritations or anything, frankincense is really good for healing the skin. But mostly I use that one just for tuning into myself.
I've been using it for massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for head massage.
Totally.
When I do body work.
And that has a mix of all the four. So Boswellia serrata, I feel is root and sacral energy. Carteret is solar plexus and heart. Royal Hujari is third eye crown, and then the Dalzelli is also third eye throat. So I combine all those, so it's the whole energetic system within the body.
Yeah, cool, man. That's very good stuff, man. So next is what you have this is the same one here?
DHA, yeah.
Oh, the DHA. Tell us about that, because that's kind of one of my favorites.
This is my favorite. This is what I use every day. I use DHA and Shilajit. This is water extracted algae oil, and it's the only algae oil on the market that is water extracted and has the same potency. So for 1 gram of oil, this has 500, or 1 milliliter of oil, it has 550 milligrams of DHA. And a recommended dose is 1,000 milligrams. That's for keeping a maintenance. And then if you have stuff that you're depleted, then you would take more, 2,000 plus milligrams a day.
DHA, omega-3s for vegans.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's water extracted algae oil. That's 550 milligrams of DHA, so 2 of those would be a dose.
So the fish get their omega-3s from the algae.
Right.
So we're cutting out the middleman, and we're also saving ourselves some karma,
Mhm.
as well as fish being pretty much bioaccumulators in a major way as well.
Totally. I mean, for 1 pound of tuna meat, that down the chain, that tuna has ingested over 1,000 pounds of sea matter to gain 1 pound of meat.
Yeah.
And so you're getting everything that's in 1,000 pounds of sea matter in 1 pound of tuna. The amount of DHAs in this bottle is the same as you would get from 20 pounds of tuna.
Okay. Very good. I like that. So that just helps to shore up for the omega-3s
Mm-hmm.
for the vegans.
Yeah, 97% of the omega-3s in the brain and the cerebral cortex are made up of DHA.
Word. Cool, man. Okay, and then you do put a couple little something in there.
That's got
Egyptian
blue lotus. So I have a lemon, a rosemary, an unflavored, and the blue lotus. The blue lotus is a limited edition one that I think I have 100 bottles left or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then next is the anointing oil. I
Yeah.
have not used that myself.
Yeah, this is one that my partner Kyra makes up, and that sacred protection is just used for anointing the body for holding space, protection when you're going out, to protect your energetic field.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Palo Santo, it has sage,
Ooh.
mugwort, juniper berries,
Nice.
and then we infuse that with the essence of black tourmaline and shungite. And we use essential oils, but a lot of what we use is infused from the actual plant. So we'll infuse the mugwort into the oil, and we'll infuse the sage into the oil, and the juniper berries into the oil. I was just in Sedona harvesting juniper berries. So we'll take those juniper berries, dry them, grind them up, and then infuse that into our oil. So you're getting the whole body of the plant
Yeah.
into the medicine.
Exactly. Wow, this is incredible. I look forward to I'm gonna get some of this today. This is organic and wild crafted Palo Santo and vetiver. I love it, with black tourmaline and smoky quartz.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are definitely on the next level. That's why I wanted to come out here. Finn's just basically, to tell you the truth, been very generous with me, and he's a very special soul, a very kindred soul. And you know, the quality that I really like about you the most is your humility. You know, I don't know, I've never told that to him, but I can see it, I can feel it, I can sense it. There's no hype, you know, and I really appreciate that, Finn.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I feel like with the work that we're doing and like holding this specific frequency, like anytime I have something come up, there's not many people that I can resonate with that hold that frequency. And that's what I love about Dan so much, is like I can go to him and he's just like, poof. Like I was at the market. I don't think I told you like the prerequisite to when we met at the market, like or we were talking to the market a few weeks ago. But we were set up next to the bread stand, and the bread smelled so good, and I was like, oh man, that bread just like smells like so good. I don't ever eat bread, you know. It's like I don't eat bread at all. And like I've been on raw food or like some raw food or cooked, or I've been vegan for like 7 years. But I was like, man, that 7-grain sourdough like smells really good. And then I walked down the market and I run into Dan, and then he starts talking about the bacteria within the gut and what that feeds off of, and about the bread bacteria and what that eats, and then like the healthy microbes. And I was like, oh man, like, what am I thinking? Like, I don't eat any bread, you know? And we just had a conversation today about eggs too, just like these cravings that come through, and like how to like move through that. And so for the space that you hold, I really appreciate that. And it's such a pure, beautiful space.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's always just choosing your ideal over, you know, a lesser choice. And it's not always easy to do that, but I think that's kind of where I'm at in my journey, is that if you don't choose the high road, it's so easy to slip back into, you know, old patterns and stuff. And so it's really, because any human being at any time, as you evolve in any way, there's always that fork in the road. You can always make a decision that is not in alignment with your highest ideal or divinity. We all have that. As long as we're here in the meat suit, in the flesh suit, we can always fall back into the, you know, what I call maybe the animal nature. And so I've seen how important, how blessed I am to have kind of unconsciously chosen the high road, almost sort of out of the spiritual ego. And then the spiritual ego, and then I had a lot of downfalls and a lot of humble pie along the way. But all those seeds of the spiritual books and the spiritual knowledge were planted in me, and now it's really wanting to manifest itself as truth. Less hype, more humility, more service, practical, hands-on, and then just being a blessing and putting my money where my mouth is, and just being of service to my friends and connecting, being kind of the middleman, and not so worried so much about me being, you know, the star of the show or whatever. You know, I'm kind of good at that. It's a natural thing, and it's good. I'll celebrate that. But it's also nice to step back and, you know, just showcase other people's talents, art, and energy. Because this is a totally different energy than the ones where I'm screaming into the camera, you know, full speed ahead, you know, which are the ones that I really like too. But I also enjoy this kind of your calm, peaceful vibe. And that's what I want to send out into the world. And then there's a website here. And then I'll put a link down below for that. But what's it called, just for the
Synchromystic.com.
Synchromystic.
Yeah.
Synchromystic.com. Okay. There's a link down below for that. And if you're interested in any of this stuff, the most practical for the vegans is the DHA. Saturate your brain. I just put a couple on my salad, a couple times a week, a couple drops on my salad, you know, and that just mixes in with my lettuce and just poop, solid. And then it's just a nice little thought that I'm saturating my brain with these omega-3 oils from algae.
That's when I feel instantly. When I take DHA, I'm just like instant calm for me.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I think it looks like we pretty much hit everything. Yeah, that we've got here. I guess we'll leave it at that. 20 minutes. Thanks, Finn. thank you everyone for watching and you know, going over to the website and checking out the stuff and seeing if it's something that resonates with you. All right, thank you very much. Be blessed, be healthy, be well, be happy, be peaceful, be joyful.